Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Yes, Kwesi. Emmanuel Wampacho.
Master Mpacho P. One more cassette. COVID, the dear could do something. So, Alabra commentary break. Because no crabby and Miss Hassan. One more country.
I say COVID didn't come home.
Would they make cover?
Okay.
But you must see. Country director of World Bank. What kind of some kind?
There be Pacho Boy.
The World Bank has asked the government of Ghana to tell Ghanaians the truth about the state of the country's economy before the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. According to the bank's Ghana's economy started wobbling in the woods before the world started battling COVID-19 outbreak. World Bank.
Insight.
Yeah. By the way, it's everywhere. It's on the network everywhere. World Bank Country Director Mr. Pierre-Franck Laporte revealed during a public lecture by the One Ghana movement that the current economic situation Ghana is faced with was expected before COVID. This follows the government constant blaming of COVID-19 pandemic for the current economic woes of the country, which has impacted Ghanaians as they have to deal with the high inflation rate and cost of living. Mr. Laporte also indicated that his office had spoken to the finance minister, who acknowledges the severity of the situation. Yes, COVID-19 has not helped, but even before COVID-19, there were signs that the situation was getting a little bit more challenging. Oh, how he put it. The key thing is to be transparent with the people he noted. It's a long thing. You can see it. So even the World Bank does not agree that COVID-19 is responsible. And in fact, Kwame, like I say, you can 1990s to 2000 Hobby. Masa Niesi, Meboa with the Frakutuan process. They predicted it. See, Bedua. Yes. So he pick, it will not take us out of this problem. And that eventually, if we don't deal with the fundamental problems of this country, this is what we will get. The predictions are there. And if I quiet do any idea trajectory now a fast, this is where it will lead us, and this is where it has brought us. You understand? Now, media. Master, Master, one day, Master, simple. Kwame, winning an Akomea, Munambe, Madanse for.
Me too.
Over the last 2 years, the boy Munkancham and the boy. There be a bus studio has a man America. As Americans, a Fakwa and Sika Samo called. A bay here pass a Fanuni in a Becca boom. Kwame, okay. Over the last 2 years, I've been saying this for 2 years running. So, a bank should take the plunge. Invite NDC leaders. Invite one more money party money that is any Akomea Labour movement. No be an chance. Ni na yem fa no kura into form say Charlie. Aha ne yadu. Ne yem pe ye hawo no anu aduru.
Anya bi ne kwa we sinchia anya yi no.
What was it?
Anya bi ne kwa we sinchia.
You national consensus. Say bi no boycott here.
No, but the outcome is not the same concept.
More or less. But essentially we didn't achieve national consensus because of boycott. Only mention. And then Salu Biaka, and the other day, Zabaya, Yanni and disappointed and transmitted that there can be empty 2 years a trouble to be empty. Now, Kwame, Yanni and Akomea no who tackle because he's been consistent on the mission. Who tackle now, Kwame Misre. Adia, Winim Sadachi. A better one. Who can want someone? And what should ye crack?
Say, Biana when him say better.
None was about to the answer, wouldn't it? Because near Quay, Ubia who say he could do something then soon. Not be bad on Timpa, be one no becase. Ubia Beko, I will be our board up. Now we na kwa IMF. O say anya odi.
Why na ka sir?
Why must say?
Why na ka sir?
Ano be be some man kan chiro.
Tell me.
Na we refi.
Yes, say asama peteku de no.
What say?
Asama peteku de no di mu achi nie.
Ah, okay. Hey. Say obi obekọ IMF bi ase wo abodam pa o. Enye se Jimmy Po no oshipa but when does it ukwa IMF and say wo abodam about fi. Na se kire wo asu twa ho na kwa IMF na de na ato. Na abodam ne bi aka wala say ya bren wala say de me nti ase o. Nti ya kasa ya no kasa. Etu onyanko ho etu eduam ebinu no. Oh, I'm saying.
Etu ayonko ho a.
Na say mitra ho. Na metie nia ye mpanimfo ni bi kai. Na kwa monim. Ye nia kodo opon kroma. The first statement o announce say e be call IMF. So what kind? Would you what kind? There was something striking about that statement.
Today.
Or say the president has agreed or instructed the
finance minister.
Almost started formal, formal contact with the IMF. Formal. Now, Master Mbisa said, before there not informal contacts because one.
Well, not that I know of.
Now, say informal contacts because one. I didn't think they were contacting IMF. No? They were still telling us, "Oh,
you are assuming that they were contacting IMF because of the word formal in the your choice.
I said, "You can't. You difference between the messy." So now informal contacts now shall see there.
That's saying shall see.
Oh, Kwame. And shall see it would not have been possible for IMF delegation to be arriving today when the thing was announced only Friday. It's not possible.
Because we wouldn't say we are members of the IMF.
I know.
We have constant interaction with them. In fact, the IMF has a mission in Ghana. So there's always contact. Always. They actually have a sitting mission in Ghana.
It is in respect of the bailout program. The statement issued by the minister was in respect of the bailout program. It was not just normal contacts in the no.
Why would you assume otherwise?
So why would I assume otherwise?
Yes. So Minister Nisemini will say the president said they should start formal contact. And also it means that there has been informal contact.
Why was it necessary?
So why would you assume so? Because as for the informal contact, it's going on every day. They have a mission chief in Ghana.
No.
What is some more mission chief for her? They have a mission.
It doesn't mean so we're having contacts with them on a bailout program.
On a daily basis, we have contact with them.
Oh, so
daily basis.
Fantastic.
But we are members.
I am not just talking about ordinary contact.
Do you know
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the bailout program.
And what is your basis for that?
Basis for what?
For your statement that there has been a bailout contact.
Hey, I'm saying.
So what is your basis for that?
I say, information minister say, president say, formal. Nature said there must have been some informal deliberations.
There must have been.
Yes.
And they may not.
Well.
So how do you proceed on that basis?
But if you say that they have a chief of mission, Nana Sausi or chief of mission, chief of mission, then there must have been some.
Yes, so it's normal, it's regular.
In relation to this one,
regular bailout programs are not normal and they are not regular. Bailout programs are not. Let us accept.
But you agree they have an IMF mission in Ghana?
Of course.
You agree.
So what?
Of course.
So what?
So factor it.
Factor it into what?
They cannot be here and then there's no interaction. They're just sitting here as an island. It cannot be.
Nana, I think you are deliberately doing this.
Okay, what do you be so that I can respond?
It's most unfortunate because one. How can I say, sir, there's been no contact between government and IMF? And I say,
but that's what you're saying, sir. There must have been contact.
And I say any contact between government and IMF it's improper. Say so, National Day, they invite the IMF director. No could we have not track quarter. Massa, Is that not a contact? Is that not a contact? I have contact. IMF papa or your dinner. That's what afraid the ministers no more share in your contact. I have contact, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking with respect with this particular bailout program. Nanti America said, Master, Thursday, last week Thursday. Now one more what Ben will say, what would you almost say, Sheikh Jam say, young call IMF. Maybe last week Thursday, no one would almost say, Sheikh Jam say, young call IMF. So the distinction between formal and informal is important. It's important in this discussion. It's important because if there had been contacts on this bailout program before Friday now, no more interaction. Then they didn't tell us the truth.
Okay, just to buttress your point, that is assuming to buttress your point. Make a statement, Nibium. The President of the Republic, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has authorized the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to commence formal engagements with the International Monetary Fund, inviting the fund to support an economic program put together by the government of Ghana. Second paragraph. This follows a telephone conversation between the President and the IMF Managing Director, Ms. Kristalina Georgieva, conveying Ghana's decision to engage with the fund. So yes, there was some
telephone conversation. That's what it says in the statement. Into all there now can is speculation.
Speculation,
which is born out by nothing. The statement says telephone contact, telephone conversation. Kwesi, that's what the statement says. So why don't you stick to the statement? Why are you making your own statement?
We should treat each other with respect.
And it will not wash. It will not wash.
We should treat each other with respect.
I will tantrums. It will not wash.
Even this tantrum is very disrespectful.
It will not wash today.
To refer to what I'm saying as tantrums,
I have treated you with respect. No. By telling me that I'm disrespectful. You are telling me I am disrespectful.
Of course. If
you are throwing tantrums. Stop it.
That is very disrespectful.
But you are telling me I'm disrespectful. And that is not an insult. You are throwing tantrums. Stop it.
Tantrums
is not necessary.
Nana.
Statement now, Kwesi. Quote the statement that the minister said.
But that's the statement.
Don't quote your own statement. It's a telephone conversation. That's what it says.
Oh, no,
telephone conversation.
Crazy.
Stop your tantrums. It's not necessary. I don't know everything. Stick to the statement. Stick to it. And stop the tantrum. It is not worth your while. Stop the statement. Minister issue. It talks about telephone conversation
between the President and the IMF Managing Director. At a meeting on June 30, Cabinet indicated he says the President of the Republic, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has authorized Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to commence formal engagements with the International Monetary Fund, inviting the fund to support an economic program put together by the government of Ghana. This follows a telephone conversation between the President and the IMF Managing Director, conveying Ghana's decision to engage with the fund. At a meeting on June 30th, the Cabinet indicated its support for the decision. The engagement with the IMF will seek to provide balance of payment support as part of a broader effort to quicken Ghana's build back in the face of challenges induced by the COVID-19 pandemic and recently the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Signed, Kojo Opon-Kroma, MP, Minister.
How is this different from what I was saying? And may say the reference to formal contact may indicate that there were informal contacts. What has telephone conversation got?
And it may not indicate so.
Now, me can want to say.
Yeah, but I'm explaining the may.
So
don't proceed on your may. Okay, you proceed.
What should I proceed?
Okay,
what should I proceed?
What do so I can respond?
Go ahead and respond.
Okay, let me respond. Sure. Kwame. Yenya him say there have been internal difficulties. Nobody runs away from that.
Okay.
But to say that COVID has no effect is wrong. It is totally wrong and not being objective to the facts. Because everybody knows. Who say World Bank president? Mami, you
are listening to some.
Who say may respond?
You are listening to voices outside this room. You are listening to voices outside this room and responding to those voices.
You can insult me all you want. I'll make my point.
Did I say, sir, COVID has no impact? Did I say that?
That's what I'm saying.
He's responding to me.
No, but I'm saying when I was you.
So there are some voices speaking to you which are not in this room.
Look,
Kwesi, Odiya wanyo do. Odiya wanyo do.
Odiya meeting and Miss Million.
Okay, Mate.
Mapa how was it?
Mate. What are you anyake? Kwame.
You know Akomea kasa serpent.
No mami koso mami wie.
Na Akomea na atete.
Mami be wu ani abre. We dey be ma nkoso na me kasa no mami koso. Na Akomea me kasa no mami koso.
Kwesi na one also responding. Na responding so I put you shada name.
Respond no the kofa rough road that me.
Okay. Kwame, because this is mami kofa rough road. Kwame uni.
Kwame Saba kai ma bro.
Na you can say Kwame.
Yes, Nana Miti.
There are over 25 countries which have gone to the IMF.
Yeah.
It is not by accident, including Cote d'Ivoire. They've applied.
Cote d'Ivoire has applied?
Yes. And not by accident. It is because of something extraordinary. Kwesi World Bank president is saying, hey, look, let me quote to you the IMF boss. In fact, IMF issued statement say, because of the difficulties with COVID, they have set aside $700 billion to offer support to countries because of COVID. The IMF has made the statement to that effect. So they recognize that COVID presents special difficulties across the world. And even though there are internal problems in Ghana and other countries, to say that COVID has had no effect will not be speaking to the truth. Absolutely. Now, 25 countries here call IMF in the last 2 years. Is it for nothing? And the IMF boss, if you paper, look, I mean, I say the Daily Graphic Thursday, April 21. I say that the manager on the she's even talking about the effect of even the Ukraine war. I say the managing director of the IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, has said an end to the Russian-Ukraine conflict will hasten global economic recovery. So even the Ukraine war, the IMF recognizes it's had a bad impact on the global economy. Well, we can have an objective analysis. We can talk about our internal weaknesses. We all agree that the internal issues I say are fixing. But to say that all the problems we are going through in Africa and in Ghana is solely because of internal difficulties too is not true. Now a Kwesi can say na a BB boy petrol boy francophone countries. I agree. One of the main reasons I hear petrol boy na cost requirement is only the
exchange rate volatility.
Now, francophone for it. They have a stable exchange rate basically because the exchange rate is controlled in France.
And then they also have price controls.
Now we are no free what? Yeah, electricity. It's much cheaper than these countries. How about that? Look, there are internal difficulties we must face. We must look at mining reform. We must look at repatriation of profits by telcos and all these big time people who have to change.
Mining firms, oil companies.
Oh yeah, all of them. We have to do that. We have to change the structure. We must industrialize. These are all problems. But you cannot say that COVID has no effect. And nobody would agree with you. And because you should move away from that. Now, Kasani can be somebody's not. I let tantrums. I got to throw tantrums and then we'll engage you. You need to throw tantrums. So
but Nana question answer na beba Nana question. Obi de Bakubi by mankind earlier, but or say we should stop bastardizing these gold and oil companies because we should look at our own laws.
Fantastic.
Or say they come here and acquire concessions under our laws and pay for them. Then they invest in exploration. If they don't find minerals or oil, it's their loss. If they find it, they raise the money to mine or drill, and then the state gets an automatic 10% carried interest. The large mining companies are one of the top taxpayers in this country. Now, ask Kwesi and Akomea. We own State Gold Mining. We owned Obuasi. We owned Akwetia Diamonds. We owned Ghana Airways. What happened to all of these? If we still owned them, probably the story would have been different.
But Kwame, nobody is blaming any. Kwesi, now I'm speaking. You're
speaking. Who are now? 2 seconds.
You're not saying media. And you're not saying media. You're not saying my bone. Okay, make my bone to make up.
Hey, and the one pan and another community refuse.
I say my bone. I say my bone. Just I don't be no, I'm not just they show you disrespect. Now you're near man. Throw Jai. Mami wie masemami. I'm going to say World Bank boss.
There be World Bank representative.
Boss now can you? Boss now.
I say rep. Play
back the tape, Kwame. Play back the tape.
Okay. World Bank boss, World Bank rep, World Bank.
I'm saying na so hanu ne.
O de yam bot tape no keke. Kwesi yam bot tape.
Eh Kwesi
tape is mo boss is here.
And some okay. Na Akomea ka bi kira nyodo. Na Akomea ka bi.
Waka bi acha meeting na me ka bi acha. No, no sir.
Just say tantrums na how. Because tantrums I don't know
kan. No ka bi bebre. E bi o kan no medano. Nto bi se minimum yo. Minimum yo papa. Me start to say me here program now bi ala o secondary school. Una wo gba be teacher family so. Ma kwan kra masa.
O se ma bon to dey me member credit. Ni pa wa bon to me be.
Kwesi bitie.
Okay. World Bank country representative.
O se boss.
Okay, boss.
Senior representative.
No problem, boss.
And no, I can't. You never born. I now can't. Upa
But whilst we are at it, the World Bank has appointed a Ghanaian, Victoria Kwakwa, as the new vice president for Eastern and Southern Africa.
No problem.
Yeah, Ghanaian. Anyway, that is by the by. Victoria Kwakwa, congratulations. Kwesika, World Bank rep boss Nefe Yanko.
Kwame.
Yes.
I didn't quote you from the World Bank country representative. Yes. COVID-19 has not helped. But even before COVID-19, there were signs that the situation was getting a little bit more challenging. Man, can we?
First, can hold.
Can we?
No.
Okay.
That COVID-19 has not helped.
Nana.
COVID-19 has not helped one cat. I'm sitting here with
you.
I'm saying there was
first day now the other can who say COVID-19 has not helped because you didn't quote it.
I read it. Me can and I was watching you closely.
You are watching closely.
My bounty, my studio. Play it back just now. So first quote he said COVID-19 has not one cat.
Kwame,
yes,
you go to the book but oh, bona Kwame
ebia na swante ebia na okan bibi
anti meka se na so ha no
meka se me se na okan bibi na adwini ho wo na se na so ha no
ti se me ni na tem
meka sa na so ka se na so ha na context is very important.
And I'm saying, but tape near Hesana Suhana, and I said, what tape you You mentioned that COVID-19 hasn't helped. Okay. And then you're kind.
Mr. Banti.
What's
tape no kick?
Now you say you're going to create problems for me. Obi say, oh, Nana Akomea, I beg. Kwesi read it, we all heard. This one says, at this stage, we the listeners crave your indulgence to end the show. This is the IMF extended edition of Kukuruku. with Tantrums and Naswewu all day inside.
No what
Kwesi Pratt read it, but the truth is Kwesi didn't emphasize the COVID part. That is
but also you only make us I actually you because
isn't that nice?
Now only make us kasa by heart is a better than
oh, it was yet to so bufu ye.
Oh,
and nana mpacho.
Why me nipa?
Ni papa.
Nipa. Anya ye kura dem ha no. A dem ho forget age. A dem ho me champion.
Oh, now ni panya, oh you penny wa nya.
Now ni make us out there when I say to mama sa. Now we go to mama sa na me to na me. Kwesi born some man.
Kwame, me pa Kwesi acho. On kana me kan yo se yenye se na be America ni biem.
But o ka che osisi ase so no aka bibia fom wa fa che no.
Yeah.
Sa no kan yo.
Yeah.
Na yenye enuanom.
Aha.
Na emumu so na keke ona start here na e man bufu.
Pese me hu na me kan yo se yenye.
What you but
yen kokot. Na ko na ka sama se mu ka fe osi yen kokot.
No, me pese me hu na me kan ya enye no.
Nya o kan no.
Enye. Na me repeat.
But what you tum say o say wa pa ocho what you tum.
Kabika ma pa na chawo.
Ene pa na chawo yen kwaya ni me na o ya evidence be.
Rules of evidence.
No. Me pese me hu na me kan ya enye. Se na be ya next time. What's say money?
Unye bi da. Ene me hu ne kan wa.
Chairman na me ya o se enye no.
Ne kan wo se bi o mi hu.
But the chairman na me kan na o se enye.
Forget.
Oh.
Then
next week me say be repeat na ayende. Into that chairman na me kan ye na o se enye no.
And yeah, massa, next week we stand be repeat a compile the bag.
I don't think I me say chairman na me kan ya o se enye. Se na be a
be
na ko bia.
Say me man in Canada.
O se jemu na nka o sun peso be jemu. O pese still a o evidence. Ede.
What rules of evidence
Koko so nya court.
Grab na say one chairman na me kan ya nya. Me dey know say from so ni ane.
I say nya kan no one pe.
Nya na me kan o say one pe. Se na be a main repeat.
Nya kan man akoma buy no.
Na there.
Na me kan so o through Tantrums. And man ebufu ye.
Before then.
Before the
before Tantrums.
Hey sir.
Tantrums. Tantrums Jimmy for the total Tantrums. But in German.
Nana osi in German man.
Oh, cool.
So this is the Tantrums throwing edition of Kokroko with Tiwi and Asui. Kwame.
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.